Hi Virgo, this is your forecast for the month of September 2017. If you have visited me before, I'd like to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Virgo Sun, Virgo Rising, or Virgo Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages concerning love, finance, and other readings. So Virgo, this first week of September, you are feeling held back in some way. You feel trapped. Maybe you are in some kind of confining situation, a relationship or a situation, but this is mostly a mental construct of your mind. So it could be that you're experiencing some type of mental blockage where you're actually holding yourself back. You're not asserting yourself. It could be maybe that you have a lack of confidence in a situation, or you're worrying, or you just have a lot of negative feelings that are hindering your progress and causing you to self-sabotage in some way. Maybe you're operating under some kind of oppressive environment where you feel a sense of powerlessness. Whatever it is, this is going to be a week where some things are going to come up that you didn't expect. Somebody is going to connect to you at the last minute and place an extra load on your shoulders. So there's some extra work or some news that will preempt your agenda for the day or the week, and sort of, create some upsetting or unsettling circumstances for you, particularly with things that you thought were resolved. So something is going to happen that you didn't have any control over. You couldn't have prevented it, and you're not in control of the situation. It could have been something that has ended or changed in some way, or again, some truth that you had to face. Now, some of you feel trapped, or you're waiting, you're holding yourself back. You're waiting for something that's not going to happen. Maybe somebody is putting you on the spot and causing you to change your agenda because they told you about something at the last minute, and now you have to change your entire schedule or your priorities because of it. And it may be related to health, could be something personal, could be something professional. Whatever it is, you never saw this problem coming. And so now you're going to have to put more effort into getting something back on track. For some of you, again, because this is a mental state, maybe you're a willing prisoner. Maybe you're placing yourself in a situation because you feel such passion about something, or you're very narrow-minded in your thinking. You're not able to see other alternatives, or both. It could be that there's a focus just on the immediate. You're living just for today with no type of foresight for tomorrow or what's going to happen. There are no long-range plans. And so you're going to have to put in extra effort to keep a situation from overtaking you where you feel overwhelmed. So if you step outside, if you release yourself, you could remove some type of obstruction. You could unblock something and become free. Especially if you overcome a fear or you have renewed faith in yourself. Now, the second week, you have some type of offer presenting. Either you're offering to something to someone, or vice versa. Now, maybe somebody was holding back an offer, or somebody is turning away from an offer. So this is a week of dealing with emotions. Now, some of you will have connections to water people, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. So, you know, there could be some visits or some invitations or some offers, agreements, proposals, something where you connect to others. Perhaps there's a new relationship in the offing. You may be connecting to somebody who is emotionally sensitive. Maybe they're artistic, they're an idealist, maybe somewhat of a dreamer, a romantic. This is somebody who is looking out for the underdog. This is also somebody who is very emotionally oriented, and they may be involved in a profession that connects to the emotional or the psychological or the psychic. So this could be a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist. And because this person is a romantic, this could be somebody who is very seductive. You know, this is the ideal mate. For some of you, this is going to be a week of awakenings, maybe perhaps a spiritual awakening. But for others of you, you know, you are focused on your emotional connection to another person and what can be offered. Maybe you're feeling more feelings than you realize, or that you had expected to or intended to. And so, you know, this is somebody who, you know, it can be very emotionally obsessed with whatever it is that they desire. And in fact, this is going to be a week where you really have some psychological insight. You're able to tap into another person's psyche and act accordingly, either to outwit them or to gain their affection, their attention, or whatever it is that you want from them. Now, for some of you, it's possible that there's a lack of honesty within a situation, that somebody is playing their cards close to their chest, or somebody's not coming right out and saying everything. People are just not being completely honest with one another. But on the whole, this again is a quest that connects to the emotional, and there's some type of offer, agreement, contract, some type of exchange between you and another. You're either putting something out there or something is being offered to you. Now, the third week you have another night. This is air energy. So this is this is Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. And this night is very different from last week's emotional. Now we've gotten away from the emotion and we're operating in our head, our thoughts, our speech, our communication. This is somebody who is, you know, very adamant about what they want. They want what they want, and they don't like taking no for an answer. So there could be some unexpected developments in a situation or in your behavior that creates a chain of events. Now, somebody may be offering something and somebody's rushing in to give an offer. Maybe some kind of protection during some type of difficulty, whatever kind of offer that may be. It could be advice. It could be some kind of support. But this is going to be a week that is moving quickly. There are new people, there are new experiences. You may be taking some type of quick or impulsive action. Maybe you're coming up with some quick solutions. You're trying to use the power of your persuasion to get what you want, because this night is concerned with being a champion, being a leader, enforcing something, whether that's law enforcement or whether that's education, but there's the enforcement of an idea or the strong pursuit of a goal, and sometimes the ruthless or selfish pursuit of a goal. So for you, this is going to be a week where, you are connecting to somebody. Maybe there's been an offer put on the table. Maybe somebody's been closed off, or perhaps you've been holding yourself back. But this is a week where communication or moving forward or travel is very important. However, you may have that mutual attraction that the Knight of Cups, points to. However, this is a week where you're not exactly on the same page. You are out of sync with somebody else. Maybe it's timing, maybe it's beliefs, or maybe it's circumstances. Some of you are rushing into a situation and you're putting an offer out there without fully thinking it through. And so you may suddenly connect to another person. Maybe you make an agreement, or you move in together, or you sign a contract, but you're doing it very quickly, almost on the fly. So it may center around resurrecting some type of relationship or situation that you're trying to bring back to life. There's some type of change taking place, and something that you thought was dead, you may be focused on giving it new life. There's a sense of renewal or moving on from the old situation. So some type of change, again, taking place. Now, for others of you, you're rushing in to do something, but somebody's not paying attention to this offer. And so you're going to end up feeling as if you rushed in and you rushed into a wall. Nothing is happening. You're trying to either start something or close it out, and it's just not coming together. So you may end up, because you can't agree, you may end up having some disagreements, and those may escalate and turn into something kind of ugly. Especially because this Knight likes to prove other people wrong, and he likes to use his speech or his thought to undercut others, to dominate or decimate them. And he believes wholeheartedly in whatever he's doing. So either he's working with you as an ally, or he's strongly working against you to defeat you. So this is a week for you to be careful about the battles that you're picking. Choose your battles wisely. You may be looking to have complete freedom for yourself, yet you want to impose some type of restriction on a partner or somebody you're connected to. Again, it could be, travel is on the table. There's an offer. Maybe you're held back, or maybe there's a last minute offer and you're rushing to take action on it. So you are examining, your ideas, and you're pushing things beyond the normal limit. Now, the last week you have the Wheel of Fortune, and so this is a major card, extremely karmic. And so there's some situations that are beyond your control now, but they were triggered by your behavior or some speech of yours. So whatever you've done in the recent past has actually triggered this chain of events, this turn of events, for better or for worse, because the wheel can, of course, spin either way. So in the positive, there's a change for the better. There's some kind of opportunity, some type of important development, an opportunity that will bring about some kind of improvement. And it feels very fated. So there could be a fortunate turn of events for you this week. Maybe you get some kind of lucky break. Maybe everything changes. Something, there's some rapid things coming to fruition. Most of all, your attitude, a change in your attitude is important. So looking at things through fresh eyes is going to offer you some success. If you felt stuck, if you had some mental blockages that first week, then this is the week where you may be able to put a spin on that and see things differently and come up with some type of solution. Now, whatever it is, again, your attitude, your speech, your actions are creating this instant karma that's going to take a situation that was headed down one road, and now it's going to suddenly turn and go in another direction. This is probably tied to material and emotional. It's all intertwined together. If this is a wheel, the spokes, would be that of emotion and the material. And so maybe you're facing some kind of emotional dilemma that requires you to really get motivated and focused on establishing yourself financially. Or if you are already established financially and there's some type of dilemma, you may really pull upon your emotional strength in order to solve it. So because the wheel is always spinning, you may have thought something you did, was not the best idea. It wasn't the right choice. But in actuality, because this wheel is still spinning, and when it lands, it happens to be the right choice. Even though you didn't recognize it initially, whatever happens ends up being a blessing in disguise. Because of course, the universe is always working for your highest good, even when you don't recognize it. And in fact, this is a week where luck is running through a situation, whether you're able to see it or not. It may be something very small, something that you're not paying attention to, something that you wouldn't necessarily give thought to, and yet the universe is behind the scenes pulling some strings in your favor. But it requires that you work in alliance with the universe. So this is a week for you to take on more responsibility. Even if you're going above and beyond, even if it's not your fair share, this is what's going to push that wheel around, to the bright side. It's going to give you the best chance at success. And so this is a week where it's going to be very easy for you to take charge of a situation and make some necessary changes that are going to turn out better than expected. And it's going to all come down to using your personal strengths to overcome against a challenge. So that Knight of Swords, he can be in conflict, but, his best is when he's rushing to protect someone, when he's coming up with solutions, ideas that help others, and also, helps himself. So this is a week also, if you were angry, upset, or if you were in an argument, for you to, this week, again, have that fresh perspective. And it's definitely going to be a week of opportunities. And so make sure that you're not closing the door on those opportunities just because you were angry or something didn't work out, or perhaps you made some mistakes in the past. This is a week for you to play your hand differently. And so, again, something that didn't work out that you were upset about may very well have been working for you. So it's important that you don't let your impatience or your intolerance get the better of you. This is a week to be open to new ideas, suggestions, constructive criticism, so that you don't continue to spin on that wheel and actually end up going nowhere. So this is about remaining confident in spite of whatever is going on, and having faith, but right on the money though, not expecting too much or too little from a situation or from yourself, because this is a week where you are going to have to really sort some things out to determine what is real and what is true. But it is a week of believing in your dreams and trying to manifest some type of dream or vision for yourself by creating some important changes. Now, the underlying energy is this Emperor card. So you are either on the back end or the front end of a very stressful situation where there may have been quite a few demands put upon you. Now, some of this may connect to a father figure. It could be a husband. It could be your boss. It could be your company. It could be the government. Whatever it is, this is, a person who holds some power, somebody who's in a high position. They have a title. They're important. They may own land. They're in charge. Could be a business owner. For some of you, this is an Aries individual. But The focus during this month is about order and control, stabilizing something, pulling order and form out of chaos. So some of you, maybe you're dealing with authority, or maybe you're acting as authority. But this is going to be a month of asserting yourself, driving yourself to achieve in order to create those structures that are important to your sense of well-being. So you're very ambitious, you're very security-minded, you're using your rational thought to be a leader, to be your own person. Now, for some of you, this is going to come about as the offer will be perhaps a job promotion, an offer of money. You're trying to set something on firm foundation. So some type of transformation is taking place during this month. And again, you have the opportunity for some changes, for following your dream. And perhaps by making some changes about the way you look and what your identity is. Now, if you're using this negatively, if you're feeling trapped, you're being aggressive, maybe you're closing yourself off to opportunities, to possibilities, you're setting the wheel in motion in a negative way, this could be a month where you feel a lack of progress. It could be that there are some issues where people are just not wanting to grow up, or they're running away from their problems, or that there's a lack of control or discipline. And again, whenever the Emperor shows up, there are always issues of power. And how is power being used? Is power being used to lead others in a way that they can find their own power? Or is power being exerted in such a way where somebody's being dominant, where somebody's being exploitative, where they're being a bullier? So for some of you, this is about either you're using your power and you're given more authority to make some positive changes, you're claiming your personal power, or you're dealing with a stressful situation where people are abusing their power and perhaps trying to dominate you, or you're simply holding yourself back because there's a lack of confidence, you're suffering from some type of mental blockage, and you're not claiming your power. You won't assert yourself. So you're not accepting the authority that's being given to you. Perhaps you're being indecisive or unreliable. You're not opening yourself up to broader thinking, and you're being very narrow-minded. Perhaps even excessively logical because there's a lack of direction. And this is also about, for some, not taking into account a situation, and you're just focused on enforcing the law rather than the spirit of the law. So again, control is an issue. You're going to feel very strongly this month. Your emotions are going to rise because you want to protect you and yours. And so this is going to be a very intense month where the truth is important, and you're going to be hell-bent on getting the truth of a situation. Again, you may be asked to take charge of something, and you're going to be very direct. People are not going to have to guess about how you feel about situations. You're expending a lot of mental energy. You're forceful in your communication and your thinking, and you are ready and willing to step up to the plate and take on more demands because you are willing to do what is necessary to provide for yourself. But again, for others of you, you're not taking your control. You're caught up in the negative shadow part of the Knight of Swords, and you're pushing, you're being aggressive, you're tempted to try to move things along more quickly than they should. And you're creating a lot of problems in the process. So being too intense or being stuck in your thinking that you have all the answers and that you know what's best and you know what's right, coming off as very self-righteous puts you in the corner by yourself. So you don't get that social and emotional support that you would have otherwise. Part of this may be that you're just not accepting something. There's some things that you're not in charge of. Some things you can't change. Some things you're not in control of. And if you can't understand that, then it's going to create some inner turmoil within you, which is going to have an effect on your physical self. So this is a month to beware of how power is being used. Are you being very petty? Are you trying to prove something to somebody by exerting your will and your power over them? Is it necessary for you to rise up by pushing others down? Are you being controlling and demanding? Or are you getting that back from other people? So this is about understanding where your true power lies and also understanding where you don't have power. That's important. So this is a month that focuses on leadership and, again, seeking some type of security or stability and a sense of belonging through your decisions. It's also about how much recognition you're getting and how you go about to achieve success. Again, are you stepping on other people in order to climb up that ladder, or is that being done to you? So there's something about your situation that's not grounded. It's not on solid footing. Now, that could very well be that some events are still unfolding, but there is a definite dilemma that you are facing. Now, you have 2 knights. Some of you are dealing with a legal or a court case involving some money. Others of you, there's just some uncertainty. You've got conflicting emotions. Could be 2 aspects of yourself. On the one hand, there's some emotions. You want to help the underdog, the less fortunate, you're understanding. But also the air side, maybe you're being too analytical. Maybe, you want to protect yourself, or you feel torn between what you should do. So again, there's a dilemma where you're not making a move, or you're uncertain, you're not, maybe you don't have the information, but whatever it is, you don't have a long time to act in this situation, because something about it, timing is critical for you. This is a month where you're going to have to pay attention to the detail, specifically because the timing of a situation is critical. And again, it may tie into a court case, or getting protection, or, again, that conflicting mission, or being in rivalry with somebody. And so you have to be careful to keep a balance. You could lose your logic to your emotional self. And so you could be, very divided and unable to cut through the fog of confusion. It could be that, someone is so overcome with their emotions that they're losing all clarity and giving in to those emotions. Now, maybe you're having some psychic, impressions, some psychic communication, but maybe there's just some confusion because somebody doesn't want to face up to the harshness of a reality. By the end of the month, you seem to pull it together towards a more level-headed approach. You use your own personal power and drive to push some things forward. So this is a prime opportunity for you to exploit a situation, whatever it is. But you have to be wary of becoming a people pleaser and trying to be all things to all people, and as a result, making things very difficult for yourself. All right, Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.